Good afternoon, gentlemen. I was just loading the presentation there, and they said this is the 8th or the 9th presentation. So I'm sure, you must have seen so many PPTs and so many slides. It says, again, the mobility, the consolidation, virtualization, everything. So I'm going to make it very short, quick, and sweet so that you just remember what my bottom line communication or the message is. So with that, I'll just actually close it off. A couple of slides I'll just run through here. And I also would like to inform you that Anil Batra, who is the managing director of Riverbed India, he was supposed to give this presentation, but he sends his apologies because he has been detained in Delhi due to business and personal reasons. So there you go. 2013, probably analysts might say that there isn't much of difference from 2012. After talking to a couple of analyst friends of mine, they have actually predicted that 2013 is going to be more or less like 2012, except that there is a hope that the recession is going to end, near to the end, or how fast it's going to end. Even though there aren't any solid predictions, but we always hope for the better. But when you look at it from an angle from a business leader perspective, he always has got two ambitions. One is to run the business without any problems or hiccups or any issues. Second is, what he is looking at is to grow the business. You can't just keep running the business at 10% year-on-year growth or the same 0% growth every year. Or I would say there is no growth, but still sustaining onto the same business model and still running the business. So let's take a quick look at here. One is to grow the business. When you try to grow the business, it's basically to improve the capabilities of your products and services. So ideally, we decide on what needs to be spent on R&D, what kind of a new products to be launched, and when it needs to be launched, and what is the kind of an ROI it will bring in 3 years, 2 years, kind of a short time frame as ROI. The pressure to reduce the cost is where we always look at when it comes to running the business. Now, cost factor, it's always, I'm sure I don't have to explain the implications of that to anybody sitting in this room, because you are the CIOs. You talk to the CFOs and the CEOs, and then you know. If it's in the recession time, yes, to make sure that you still need to reach the profitability, or you need to look into what needs to be cut down so that you still stay profitable without cutting off the workforce or without cutting off any of the IT projects. But I have a different look at it. Okay, people say that cost cutting, it happens in recession. But cost cutting, I have a feeling that even during the best of the times, it can happen. Because your competition also is doing well. They are also growing at a certain pace. You want to outreach or outsmart them. So how do you do that? Somewhere down the line, you need to take a look at the budgets which you are given with. You take a deep dive into the ROI, and then give a presentation to the management on what kind of a project it needs to be run. So if there is a fluctuation in your stock in whichever stock exchange which you have listed, there again, you are given with a pressure on, you need to increase the marginal, the profitability so that, it needs to, kick up or somewhere down the line make a difference in the stock. So there are lots of external factors and internal factors which actually controls the cost reduction factor. This is actually an analysis done by Gartner with 2,000 odd CIOs like you, and in some 37 countries. There's something interesting. Here, when you look at it in 2008, let's assume that was the best of the IT. I wouldn't still so. But again, I think that was the times when things were going smooth. Most of the companies around us used to show double-digit figures in growth year on year. And from there, it's somewhere down the line in 2010, 2011, it was kind of tapering down. And coming to 2012, you look at the shift of the priorities when it comes to strategies. The cost of reducing the IT in 2008, it was priority number 10. Today it is number 2. Developing and managing flexible infrastructure, it was at priority 11 and it has become priority 3. So these are the actual facts and data which these companies publish on the changing times. So how well do we adapt to this? So The first two, as I said, it's basically to grow the business and also overlapping with what is there we need to run the business. As you all know, success depends on the performance. Be it any department in your company, it's the performance which actually makes the success. And when it comes to success, it depends on who all people. Let's look at the IT department. Users, they are the end users, the customers of IT department, and probably in love or in hatred with the users. The way you look at it, the users does not, the tolerance level of the users are like going down day by day. The only way to look at it is we need to increase the performance of the IT so that the complaints to the help desk, it reduces. Internet is slow. Even change of passwords, which normally people can do by themselves, by entering some credentials in, they call up their help desk. These are the kind of users at times we need to handle. Now, IT, you are the masters of it, you know how to control it. On the other hand, you still need to balance. Okay, you need to control, but you need to give access. And then on the access, you need again control so that it doesn't go stray. And business, as you know, everything what you do with the IT budget or any other department, how does it implicate onto the business? So let's take a look at what is that IT department needs to do or your department needs to do to future-proof your department or you future-proof your IT. Performance, security, flexibility, and cost effectiveness. There are times when it goes back to this way. People used to write letters and go to the post office and post it till the day the email popped up or till the day they came to know that something else is there called email which we can send it faster. So something like this. There are times when you need to understand that all four of this, at least one of which will be compromised when you actually make the IT run. But we from Riverbed, when it comes to the performance, what about this? We can help you get to the performance, security, flexibility, and cost effectiveness. So that's where we deliver. Let's look at a quick look at what is that you're doing. This is nothing new to you. This is what you have done, which you are doing, which you will be doing, or in the current process of doing it. I'm just explaining onto the slide to put a platform to how Riverbed can help you into this. Data center consolidation. There are times when I have met up with a couple of CIOs where they have data centers across the world. They are in the process of consolidating it. And there are some people who actually don't do that. Yeah, of course, those were the government organizations in India which I have met up. There used to be a time when you put up the world map and you look at it. Number of X's what you see on the world map is like so many that these are the places where you have the data centers. Today, if you open up and look at it, a couple of X's here and there. That is what it says. So that is the trend which it is into. It has not yet reached the maturity stage, but it's on an upswing, and that is what you are doing. Remote office simplification. Let's look at it this way. There is a branch office of yours somewhere out in another country where a couple of guys are using a specific application. Probably there might be a design team based out of San Francisco or Connecticut or any of the cities. They will be using certain specific set of softwares, which is, it needs to be loaded onto the local server for its performances. But that's the time when there is a problem, when you don't have an IT person out of that branch to look into who's accessing it and how well using it, and is it a pirated version or who else is accessing onto it. Those are the times when, the data center guys, they feel really handicapped. They are not able to reach out to these softwares or control on it because it's based in the branch, it's based out of the branch office service. Normally, what happens is, in order to bring in control, bring in flexibility, they put it back onto the data center and they try to give access to those people in the branch office to the data center to those particular applications. But how fast they can do that? That's where Riverbed comes into the picture. Data centralization. again, something which I've explained now. Again, the softwares which are loaded onto different servers in different branch offices or different sub-offices where you have, it's consolidated into one single data center. Cloud integration. The debate goes on whether it needs to be a private cloud, a public cloud, security of your data. All these questions are being asked again and again, but somewhere down the line, you need to strike a balance, and you need to take it up whichever is the most meaningful. So in total, this is what you do, this is what you're doing, or you're currently embarking on. So the performance management is actually a consolidation of all these, but how effectively it can be utilized. It can be put across to the end user so that they don't feel the pinch that the applications are based in a data center, and reaching out to that is actually a problem, or because of the latency or because of the bandwidth issues. Let's take a quick look at a scenario which I would like to explain. I don't think, I hope nobody from Microsoft is here. Our intention is not to show that SharePoint is a very heavy application, but somewhere down the line we all know that it is a heavy application. So IT department is given with a task of implementing SharePoint. SharePoint is loaded onto the data center, and through wide area network, the devices, laptops, as well as the desktops for remote users are getting connected to it. Now, there is a problem with the control. There is a problem with the latency. So these are the challenges which the IT department has to work on. And the problems, because of this, adoption is low. People don't want to get into the SharePoint and then collaborate. And also, users' complaints are the highest. Now, the IT department is given with the task of finding out how do we accelerate this. Application-aware network performance management is put in place, and they analyze the entire network and try and figure out what exactly is the problem. So this is the dashboard which actually show that the health of the applications in each and every location. And then the results is basically based on the fact that you need to do the wide area network optimization. So wide area network optimization is done 60x faster, 99% of the utilization of the bandwidth, happy users, and the adoption is much faster. And these are a couple of statistics which we have come up with after doing certain calculations onto certain sets of data which has been transferred from data center to the end users. Now let's look at the wins in our sales. I had actually 3 more slides explaining this, or not explaining this, I would say more or less like giving little more of the in-depth statistics or the latest statistics reports which actually support that these are the in things. But I decided to take that off because from yesterday evening, from the IBM presentation, I've been hearing all these terms. And I'm sure I don't have to stress on the fact that this is the buzzwords of 2013, or it is the latest buzzwords which is happening, which you are actually spending huge amounts of money on implementing onto this. So these are the technologies on which Riverbed products and solutions are based on. For the benefit of the CIOs who might never had the pleasure of exchanging cards or having a chit chat, I've just given an overall picture on who is Riverbed. Riverbed is a 10-year-old company. It's based out of San Francisco. 2,800 employees, 840 million as of 2012. But after the acquisition of a company called OpNet, which is into application performance management, we have crossed 1 billion USD as our turnover. Now, there is a saying in Silicon Valley that if you reach 1 billion in, say, 10 years, that is a highly successful company. And that is exactly what we have done. 22,000 customers worldwide, and these are a couple of products which and solutions which we have. Quick overshot, an overview of the products and solutions which we have. Steelhead is our wide area network optimization product. Stingray is application delivery controller. Cascade is application-aware network performance management appliance, cloud storage acceleration, cloud acceleration, and edge virtual server. So in total, to summarize what all I have said, analyze, accelerate, and control. So that's basically the data center where we have our appliances put up. These are the end users. Even on the laptops, there is a software version which you can download and keep. And once you get connected to the WAN, that software starts to work, and it will exactly work as a hardware appliance. So this is basically the ROI calculation, averaging around 7 months' time, you get the payback. I have a short video to run. So since I'm already run short of time, I would, in case if you have any questions, myself as well as a couple of my colleagues will be around, would be glad to talk to you onto that. Thank you.
You respond in times of need and stay until the job is done. You've built the framework for success and will stop at nothing to keep business running smoothly. At Riverbed, we help you operate at your highest level with real IT solutions for real-world business problems. Wherever you need to send and receive information, whatever network visibility you need. However you choose to manage and protect your data. We increase the performance of the systems that deliver it. Do business faster, smarter, better with Riverbed. IT performance for your globally connected enterprise.
Well, thank you very much.